What if I told you that the people you mock, the ones you call fools, the ones you scroll past with a smirk of superiority, are the very foundation upon which your entire world is built? What if the idiots you despise are not a bug in the system, but the most essential feature of civilization itself? Stay with me, because by the end of this, you will never look at intelligence, success, or even yourself the same way again. We live in an age that worships intellect. We celebrate the genius, the innovator, the disruptor. We build shrines to those who think differently, who see what others cannot, who break the mold and reshape reality. And in this cult of intelligence, we have created a silent underclass. The stupid, the naive, the ones who follow instead of lead, who consume instead of create, who believe instead of question. We pity them. We ridicule them. We build entire industries around exploiting their gullibility. But here is the uncomfortable truth that no one wants to speak aloud. Without them, everything collapses. Think about it. Every economy in human history has depended on a vast majority of people doing repetitive, unglamorous, often mindless work. The pyramids were not built by architects alone. The Roman Empire did not expand through philosophy. The Industrial Revolution did not transform the world because of inventors sitting in laboratories. It transformed the world because millions of ordinary people showed up every day to pull levers, move coal, and assemble parts they did not understand. They did not need to understand, they needed to do. And in their doing, they built the very platform upon which the so-called geniuses could stand and be celebrated. This is not ancient history, this is now. Right now, as you watch this video, someone is delivering packages to your door without questioning the algorithm that routes their journey. Someone is stocking shelves at midnight so you can have fresh produce in the morning. Someone is answering customer service calls, absorbing the frustration of strangers, following scripts they did not write. Are these people idiots? Society would have you believe so. But remove them and watch how quickly your comfortable world disintegrates. The philosopher Plato understood this over 2,000 years ago. In his vision of the ideal society, he divided people into three classes: the rulers, the warriors, and the producers. And while he reserved the highest honors for the philosopher kings, he knew that the city could not survive without the farmers, the craftsmen, the laborers. They were the body upon which the head rested. Without the body, the head is nothing but a severed thought, floating uselessly in the void. But here is where it gets even more uncomfortable. It is not just about labor, it is about belief. Every system of power, every institution, every ideology depends on people who do not question too deeply. Democracy needs voters who trust the process. Religion needs believers who embrace the mystery. Capitalism needs consumers who chase the next product without asking why. Science itself, that great temple of rationality, needs a public that accepts its conclusions without reading the papers, understanding the methodology, or replicating the experiments. We call this trust. We call this faith. But in the harsh light of intellectual elitism, we might also call it stupidity. And yet without it, nothing holds together. What would happen if everyone suddenly became a critical thinker? If every person questioned every authority, doubted every claim, demanded proof for every assertion? Chaos, paralysis. A society of 7 billion philosophers would starve while debating the meaning of bread. The gears of civilization turn precisely because most people do not stop to examine the machinery. They push, they pull, they keep moving, and in their unquestioning motion, they generate the energy that allows the questioners to question at all. So who, really, is the fool here? But perhaps you are thinking, this is cynical, this is dark, this reduces humanity to cogs in a machine. And you would be right to resist that reduction, because there is another layer to this truth, one that touches something far more personal. Have you ever felt like the idiot in the room? Have you ever walked into a conversation, a meeting, a social gathering, and felt the weight of your own inadequacy pressing down on your chest? Have you ever nodded along to something you did not understand, laughed at a joke you did not get, pretended to know what everyone else seemed to know effortlessly? If you have, you are not alone. In fact, you are in the majority. Because here is the secret that the confident ones never tell you. They feel it too, every single one of them. The sociologist Irving Goffman spent his career studying how people perform their identities. He called it dramaturgy. We are all actors on a stage, he said, constantly managing the impressions others have of us. The smart person, the confident leader, the intellectual authority, they are performing just as much as the nervous newcomer. The difference is practice. The difference is costume. The difference is knowing which stage to stand on and which lines to deliver. But beneath the performance, the fear is the same. The fear of being exposed. The fear of being seen as the fraud you secretly believe yourself to be. This is what psychologists call imposter syndrome. And studies suggest that up to 70% of people experience it at some point in their lives. 70%. That means the room you feel so stupid in is filled mostly with people feeling exactly the same way. The idiots, it turns out, are everywhere, and they are us. If this idea has already resonated with you, imagine what comes next. Subscribe now so you do not miss this journey. So if we are all idiots in our own way, what do we do with that knowledge? How do we transform this uncomfortable truth into something that serves us? The answer lies in a radical shift of perspective. Instead of running from our ignorance, we must learn to embrace it. Instead of pretending to know, we must cultivate the courage to not know. And in that not knowing, we find something extraordinary, the capacity to learn, to grow, to become. The ancient Greek philosopher Socrates was called the wisest man in Athens, and when he heard this, he was confused. He went around questioning the people who were supposed to be wise, the politicians, the poets, the craftsmen, and he discovered something remarkable. They all thought they knew things they did not actually know. They were certain of their wisdom, and that certainty made them fools. Socrates, by contrast, knew that he knew nothing, and that awareness, that humble acknowledgement of his own ignorance, made him wiser than all of them. This is not just philosophy, this is practical wisdom for navigating a world that rewards confidence and punishes doubt. The people who learn fastest are not the ones who already know, they are the ones who admit they do not. The people who build the deepest relationships are not the ones who perform perfection, they are the ones who reveal their flaws. The people who lead most effectively are not the ones who pretend to have all the answers. They are the ones who ask the best questions. Think about the moments in your life when you grew the most. Were they moments of triumph, when everything you believed was confirmed? Or were they moments of failure, confusion, even humiliation, when you were forced to confront the limits of your understanding? Growth lives in the gap between who we are and who we pretend to be. And the only way to close that gap is to stop pretending. But there is a secret still more profound that few ever discover. The labels we use, smart and stupid, wise and foolish, they are not descriptions of reality. They are tools of control. Every society needs a way to sort people, to assign roles, to justify hierarchies. And the easiest way to do that is to convince some people they are better than others. The smart ones get to lead. The idiots get to follow. But who decides what counts as smart? Who writes the tests? Who defines the criteria? Those in power, always those in power. Consider how intelligence has been measured throughout history. IQ tests were originally designed to identify students who needed extra help, but they quickly became instruments of ranking, sorting, and excluding. They were used to justify eugenics, to deny immigration to certain groups, to reinforce racial and class hierarchies that already existed. The tests did not discover who was smart. They created the category of smart in a way that protected the interests of those already on top. This is not conspiracy theory. This is documented history. And it continues today in subtler forms. The educational system rewards certain kinds of thinking and punishes others. The job market values certain skills and ignores others. The cultural conversation celebrates certain voices and silences others. And in this vast sorting machine, millions of people are labeled idiots simply because they do not fit the mold. But their intelligence is real. Their contributions are essential. Their humanity is equal. And here is the revelation that ties everything together. The idiot and the genius are not opposites. They are mirrors. Every genius has vast territories of ignorance. Every idiot has sparks of brilliant insight. The division between them is not a wall, but a spectrum. And we all move along it constantly, sometimes wise, sometimes foolish, often both at once. The society that needs idiots is not a society that despises them. It is a society that depends on everyone, in their unique combination of knowledge and ignorance, doing what only they can do. The genius needs the laborer. The laborer needs the genius, and both need the vast middle ground of ordinary people living ordinary lives, making ordinary choices, holding the world together with their ordinary hands. What society truly needs is not more geniuses or fewer idiots. It needs a new understanding of what intelligence means. An understanding that values contribution over credentials, wisdom over wit, humanity over hierarchy. An understanding that sees the delivery driver and the CEO as equally essential, the philosopher and the farmer as equally wise in their domains. So here is what I want you to take from this. Stop measuring yourself against impossible standards. Stop believing the story that some people are smart and some are stupid, and that these labels define your worth. You are neither as brilliant nor as foolish as you think. You are a human being, magnificent and flawed, capable of incredible insight and embarrassing error, sometimes in the same breath, and that is not a weakness. That is the truth of what we are. The next time you feel like the idiot in the room, remember this: the room is full of idiots, all of them. And that is exactly how it should be, because idiots ask the obvious questions that geniuses are too proud to ask. Idiots try the things that experts say cannot be done. Idiots believe in possibilities that cynics have long abandoned. And sometimes, just sometimes, the idiot changes the world. So embrace your inner fool. Wear your ignorance as a badge of curiosity. Let your not knowing be the doorway to learning. And never, ever let anyone convince you that your place in this world is less than essential. You are the foundation. You are the body that carries the head. Without you, everything falls. If this video opened your eyes to something new, hit the like button and let me know in the comments. What moment made you feel like the idiot in the room? And what did it teach you? Subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications so you never miss these journeys into the depths of what it means to be human. And if you know someone who needs to hear this message, someone who has been made to feel less than, someone who doubts their worth, share this with them. You might just change their entire perspective, because the world does not need more geniuses. It needs more people brave enough to be beautifully, gloriously, unapologetically human.